So to balance, what do you use? Your legs, your arms? Maybe something you didn't think of is your toes, but you really need several elements to balance things out. Just as in design, you also need objects to balance out your design. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cube in Photoshop. Three-dimensional objects and geometric shapes can be used in design to counter a picture or text and to give your design a little bit of balance. Here's a real world application here, and here's just a box, a package, probably designed in something similar to Photoshop. Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic form of this. My overview is I'm going to open Photoshop, set it up, make layers, draw a square, add a gradient, copy, deselect, duplicate, skew, distort. I'm going to save it. Step 1, I'm going to go ahead and open Photoshop. And I'm going to go ahead and make a nice size, 1000 by 1000 pixels here. My resolution, I'm not going to worry too much about right now because of my pixel quality. And I also, right here, haven't set it as CMYK, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it in RGB mode whenever I open Photoshop, and if you need to make a print document, save it as CMYK towards the end. Step 2, I'm going to go ahead and make some layers. Just going to go to the layer panel, select new layer, and I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of them, name them top view and box side. Step 3, I'm going to draw a square. I'm going to go ahead and select top view, make sure that layer is selected. I'm going to click on the rectangular marquee tool in the upper left hand corner, and I'm going to go ahead and drag a box out, but I'm going to hold the shift down to make sure it's a perfect square. Step 4, I'm going to go ahead and add a gradient to my box. I'm going to go ahead and select the linear tool and make sure the preset is on foreground to background, which is usually the first one right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag from the bottom left to the top right. So just to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to Photoshop, File, New. Like I said, make sure it's on pixels, 1000 by 1000. Right now I'm going to leave it in the RGB, leave the resolution at 72. And I'm going to go ahead and name it Cube. Whoops, I spelled it wrong, but that doesn't really matter. You can always change it later. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead to Layers, Layer New. I'm going to go ahead and name this one Top View. I'm going to name my second one Box Side. It doesn't really matter what you name your layers actually, but it just helps me keep track of them better. And here's your rectangular marquee tool right up here. I'm going to go ahead and drag, holding the shift key down. And then we go to the gradient. Make sure it's set on linear, foreground to background. If you want to change the colors, you can here. You can go ahead and just change them. But I'm going to leave them as they are, so go from the bottom left to the top right. If you want it to be more dramatic, you can drag further, so it's not so dramatic. Now I'm going to go ahead and deselect my rectangular marquee tool, so my gradient becomes a square. I'm going to go ahead and reselect it with a marquee tool, and I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, and I'm going to edit, paste this square into the box side layer. So right now I have it selected on the top view. I'm going to go to Command Deselect, Rectangular Marquee Tool, and I'm going to go ahead and select this box again. I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, make sure your box view layer is selected. I'm going to go ahead and go to Edit, Paste. I just drag them so I can see that there's 2 boxes. So I'm going to go ahead to my step 6, and I'm going to duplicate box side, and I'm going to make a second layer called box side copy. It's going to be the same square just as I copied and pasted into the box side, but this time I'm going to flip it horizontally and line the boxes up side by side, just like shown right here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and skew my boxes. I'm going to skew the box side and the box side copy. I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Skew, and I'm just going to drag the left side and the right side of the box and line them up in the middle. So this is my box side. I'm actually going to go ahead and hide my top view just so it's out of the way. Go ahead and go to Layer, Layer, Duplicate Layer. It's going to name it box side copy, that's fine. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Drag it down. It's fine, they're lined up pretty good. I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and I'm going to skew both of them. Doesn't matter how much you skew them, just as long as they match up. There you go. With that part done, we can go ahead to step 8, and I'm going to go ahead and unhide my top view and select it so we can get the top area of this cube here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate my box 135 degrees. I'm going to Edit, Transform, Distort, and I'm going to go ahead and drag the bottom corner up. And I'm going to scale to fit the rest of the box. I'm unhiding my top view. I'm going to click on it. Drag it up here, and we go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. Up here, you can go ahead and select, type in your rotation. 135 degrees puts it at the perfect angle. There you go. Transform, scale. I'm going to scale it first, actually. I think it makes it a little bit easier. It makes the box look better. And then I'm going to go ahead and Edit, Transform, Distort. We want to do it till it looks about parallel. I think this probably looks about good. We're going to check it here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to scale it down just a shade. I think it's just a little too big. Now we're going to go ahead and try to distort again. Try to make it fit just a little bit better. And that's pretty good. It's not perfect. You can go ahead and play around with it a little bit. But basically, here's your cube. So to finish it up, I want to flatten the image. And if you need to save this with a transparent background, you would want to use the magic eraser, select the background, and go ahead and save it as a PNG file. That'll support the transparency. So just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and go to Layer. I'm going to flatten my image. That makes it one whole layer. Go to the eraser, magic eraser, and I'm going to select the background. So now it has a transparent background, and if you need to save it with a transparent background, you're going to save as. I'm going to go ahead and spell cube correctly. And I actually forgot to click, hold on. You want to save it as a PNG file. You want to save it anywhere is good. You click OK, and there you go. So basically, I just opened Photoshop. I made my layers. I drew a square, a gradient, copied it, deselected it, duplicated it, skewed, distort, and I finished up and saved it correctly. So that's how you balance out your design. Later on, after you get that down, you can also add pictures like these people did, and I did in the past add pictures, but I'm not going to show you that right now.